The Prime Minister is with the Saudi Crown Prince. In fact, his visit comes in the shadow of the Pulwama terror attacks. And there you have it, India and Saudi Arabia and the Prime Minister and the Crown Prince expected to also issue a joint statement. One is hoping that the Crown Prince, along with the Indian Prime Minister, together issue a strong statement on terrorism. And this is a very important event that is happening because the Crown Prince just very recently was in Pakistan during the time of the Pulwama terror attacks. In fact, they've also just signed a $20 billion deal with Pakistan. So the Prime Minister there shaking hands with the Crown Prince. Paulami, it's a very important meeting. It's coming in the backdrop of the Pulwama terror attacks. Tell us, can we expect a strong stand to be taken on terrorism? Can we expect a statement from the Saudi Crown Prince, who is here in India, a strong statement on terror?
Well, that is exactly what India will be pushing for a very strongly worded statement on terrorism, so that the Crown Prince is able to elucidate his stand as well. Remember that he's been to Pakistan before arriving in New Delhi, and in Islamabad he issued a joint statement there where he said that there needs to be a de-escalation of tension between India and Pakistan, and any sort of role that anyone else needs to prove in the same, they're willing to do as well, obviously saying that dialogue is the only way forward to de-escalate tensions between India and Pakistan, and of course lauding Pakistan's efforts vis-a-vis terrorism. So that is something which has been a bit of a setback for India in terms of the statement which is coming from Islamabad. So India will be hoping that a stronger statement is put out from here in New Delhi today, which goes out as a very loud message to Pakistan that Saudi Arabia is also standing behind India in the wake of these terror attacks and will support India internationally as well when India tries to isolate Pakistan.
Absolutely, and that's what's going to be really looked into. I'm sure the Indian side wanting to hear from the Saudi Crown Prince, who is in India. They already share, Paulami, such a strong strategic partnership. Saudi Arabia identifying India as one of the 8 strategic partners on areas of political engagement, on trade, investment, culture. But it's going to be very important when that joint statement is issued on what stand will Saudi Arabia take on terrorism, especially terror emanating from Pakistan.
That is going to be the focus and the most significant part of this visit, that joint statement which is issued by the two leaders when they're here at Hyderabad House a little later this afternoon. There is a one-on-one meeting which is underway between Crown Prince Mohammad bin Salman and Prime Minister Narendra Modi right now, after which there will be delegation-level talks, after which there will be a signing of agreements and that joint statement will be issued. Prime Minister Modi has already given an interview to the Saudi Gazette where he's basically pointed out towards, of course, the various areas of cooperation that India and the Saudi Arabia have had for a very long time and where they would like to engage, including defense and in terms of energy cooperation, which has been one of the most important areas of cooperation between the two nations. Bilaterally, he has said that he would like to develop a mechanism, and that will be his aim, to develop a mechanism to monitor progress between the two nations in terms of their ties bilaterally. But yes, on terrorism as well, the Prime Minister has spoken, and he said that India has been a victim of terrorism from our neighborhood for a very long time. And it is, as far as terrorism is concerned, India has a very strong stand. India will continue to put pressure on its neighbor internationally so that everyone who is perpetrating terror and is behind sponsoring terror is brought to book.
Absolutely. The Prime Minister hosting the Crown Prince. He is going to be hosting a lunch in honor of the visiting dignitary in Hyderabad House. I believe, Paulami, that the Crown Prince is also being accompanied by a high-level official delegation, a very large business delegation as well. Can you just give us a bit of a gist on the various MOUs and agreements that will be signed between Saudi Arabia and India?
Well, there will be a few MOUs that will be signed. This will be in the areas of trade, in terms of investment that Saudi Arabia is looking to make into India, in terms of cultural ties as well. Also a strategic council which will be set up, which will obviously monitor the progress as far as strategic ties between the two nations are concerned. Already the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman has pointed out towards the 70-year-old relationship between Saudi Arabia and India, and how Saudi Arabia considers India to be a very important partner. Saudi Arabia, in fact, has pointed out that in terms of 8 partners that it has, India is one of them. So India is right up there in terms of Saudi Arabia's South Asia engagement is concerned. Now, remember, this is also a very important trip for the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia as well, who's been caught in a huge controversy after the assassination of journalist Jamal Khashoggi at the Saudi consulate in Turkey. And all fingers were pointing towards the Crown Prince himself as to having orchestrated and ordered this assassination. After a very long time now, after 5 months of that controversy, the Crown Prince has stepped out in order to engage with the international community, specifically here in South Asia, to send out a message to the West as well that he's not an international pariah.
Oh, absolutely. Foreign Affairs Editor Geeta Mohan is also joining us. Geeta, India's efforts to corner Pakistan over terror has already received a massive boost with France leading the effort to sanction Masood Azhar. Going to be very interesting as to what really will that joint statement be from the Crown Prince, and what will his take be on terrorism coming in from Pakistan when he was there in Pakistan during the Pulwama terror attacks.
Well, that's right, Avantika, given the fact that the joint statement between Saudi Arabia and Pakistan speaks volumes of the ties between the two countries and how India has to work diplomatically doubly harder to ensure that West Asia, particularly UAE and Saudi Arabia, side with India on matters as serious as Pulwama. The Pulwama attack happened and there was no condemnation. In fact, there was only praise for Imran Khan for the fight against terrorism and the initiatives that Imran Khan has taken with regards to Kartarpur. At the back of that, he is now coming and he is now in New Delhi, Avantika. We'll have to wait and see what the joint statement will have to say, but there is going to be a lot of discussion over Pakistan, but also for Saudi Arabia, the concern is Iran. So Saudi Arabia could raise the issue of Iran, a friend of India. So these are strategic geopolitical issues that will come up during discussions.
You know, and while you were speaking, Geeta, stay on with me. There's a tweet that has been put out by Randeep Surjewala. I'm just going to read out that tweet. The Congress taking on the Prime Minister, breaking protocol, grand welcome to those who pledged $20 billion to Pakistan and praising Pakistan's anti-terror efforts. Is this your way of remembering martyrs of Pulwama? So a sharp attack there by the Congress party on the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia visiting India. Geeta, why is Saudi Arabia so important for India? Why does the Crown Prince visit matter to India? Why hasn't there been strain as far as the ties are concerned when this is the same Saudi Arabia that has pledged $20 billion to Pakistan?
Well, that's a reality India has to live with. Saudi Arabia does have ties with Pakistan. The only problem for Saudi Arabia in its background, in the region, is Iran. And to contain Iran, they need these allies, they need these countries, and so Pakistan is an important country for Saudi Arabia. Having said that, India has become a very important strategic partner of Saudi Arabia, and if a choice were to be made, Saudi Arabia will certainly be choosing India over Pakistan in many ways than one. There are economic ties between the two countries, Avantika, and the fact that India does not need aid and Pakistan needs speaks volumes of the difference between India and Pakistan, and there is no comparison between the two countries. It's Pakistan that is going with a begging bowl, so to say, to these countries because they are in absolute financial crunch. We know that India has been pressurizing or at least reaching out to these countries not to give aid to a country that is abetting and supporting terrorism, and that is something that will be put forth even in the meeting today.
All right, stay on with me.
Thanks for watching the video. For more such news and updates, please like, share and subscribe to India Today. Also check out our other great videos from our channel. We know you would love to.